Hey, what it do, everybody? Welcome to the deeper level tonight. Listen, we have an incredible show together for you. We are doing the second episode of State of Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. And listen, there is a lot to cover, a lot to get into, and a lot to talk about this week. It's been a huge week in the community. And let me tell you, I'm super, super excited. So y'all know how we do. Before we get started, the first thing that I need you to do, and I do mean the first thing that I need you to do, is like and share. If you're watching over on the red side on YouTube, hit that sub button, also hit that like button, and don't forget to hit that notification bell so you're notified every time that I go live and more content becomes available right here on the deeper level. Also, you can connect with us at the social links that are on the top of my camera right here. You can pull up any one of those, whether it is Twitter, whether it is Twitch, or whether it is YouTube. So no matter what side you're tuned in, please make sure that you hit that like and that subscribe button. Let me holler at the chat right quick because it looked like the chat is lit. I see a couple of people that are pulling it up. Yes. Devaney Interactive. What is going on? Billy Parker. Shout out to Splash 6411, man. What's up? All is well. Billy Parker. Yes, sir. Hey, my guy Kierion. What's up, bro? The bearded one is in the house, man. Happy New Year to you as well. Let's see, man. We got Cage Games on the stream right now in the chat. We got Cage Games. I promise y'all, he's coming to the podcast, so definitely keep it locked. We're definitely gonna get him on here. Rage, my guys in the chat. What's up, brother? Bats is pulled up. Taladia is pulled up. What's good? Casual Avenger is here. Sleeper Kid, Texas VO. What's good? Hey, shout out to Texas because I'm actually residing in Texas right now. So shout out to Texas. Man, we got the All Father the Do-Rag game in this camp, man. My guy, Sadat the Gamer, who was up in this piece on last week. Yeah, Shield Side Squad. Shield Side Squad unite, buddy. That's right. King Greek, my guy who was on the podcast with us last week. So listen, we about to get this thing popping, chat. Listen, we got our special guests are here with us, fellow content creators. Now listen, this first guy that I'm about to introduce, let me tell you, I'm super, super excited to have him on the podcast tonight, especially as it relates to anything that is community based, because I really, really don't, chat. And this is the honest to God's truth. I don't know a person who's done more for the Avengers community than this guy that I'm about to introduce. Everything from community events, organizing it, getting people involved, bringing people together. I don't know a person who has done more for a single games community than this guy that I'm about to introduce right now. So I need everybody to help me welcome Mr. Doom Killer HD, the leader of the Doom Squad. Let me get him up in this thing right quick. What's up, Doom? Let me get this right quick so we can see you. There we go, man. What's up, my guy? What's up, bro?
What's shaking, homie? Hopefully all is well with you. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas and all of that goes with it. How you doing, my dude?
Man, great, bro. I'm telling you, man, it's an honor to have you on tonight, man. And again, like I was saying, that ain't just smoke, man. That's facts, bro. I can't think of a person who's done more for a games community, man, than yourself, bro. So I'm really looking forward to see what you got coming for this game, Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Because trust me, I saw you post a couple of pics, and I know where you're headed, bro. I know where you're headed.
Man, thank you for the love. I definitely appreciate it. I'm pretty sure there's a couple of other people I can name that has done a lot more than I have, but I appreciate the love, man. It's for real, for real. Suicide Squad, yeah, I'm ready to go ahead and just dive dog deep into that thing. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting my background prepared for what's about to happen for that Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League. So we about to change some things up on the background area, but we gonna keep it gutter. You know how we do, man. Let's just keep it popping, baby. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Let's keep it shaking, man. That's what I'm talking about. Listen, we ain't in here by ourselves, chat. I got another special guest that I'm getting ready to introduce. Now, listen, if you knew my big brother in real life, I thought I had never met a person in life that was as cool and laid back as my big brother was until I met this gentleman here. He was also a huge stable in the Avengers community. Let me tell you, doing big things over on YouTube. This is a content creator that you certainly need to follow as well. I certainly respect his opinion, and I thought that he would definitely be a good mix. We tried to get him on the podcast last week, but we had some schedule conflicts. But we're so great to have him and so glad to have him tonight. So I want to introduce my next guest. The next content creator that's coming to the podcast tonight is none other than Casual Avenger. What is up, brother?
What's good, bro? Appreciate that intro. Shout out to you and Doom and everybody in the chat. What's good?
Man, what's happening with it, Carlo? It's been a minute.
Yes, sir. Shadows. Yes, sir, man. We're about to get this thing popping. Listen, we got another guest that's going to be joining us in a little bit, but his schedule is a little different, so he'll probably be about 10 minutes off, and then we got a live caller that's calling in at 4:30. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing started. Of course, if you pulled up tonight, everybody is just excited about Suicide Squad, Kill the Justice League. Listen, as any other game, you know, there's always been the mixed emotions, mixed thought processes, one person on this side of the fence, next person on that side of the fence. But each and every one of these content creators that has been on this show and that's on this show right now rocks with the game. And we're here to build the hype around it. I can't wait to play it. I'm super, super excited just to dive more into it. We are less than 30 days away from the release. Now, it's been a huge week for this game this week. And that's why this podcast tonight is right on time, because Miller, for anybody who knows Miller, recently dropped his article on the 26th this past week, and he set the record straight about some misleading leaks that had come out. You know, some people were saying certain members of the Justice League had died. You know, all that stuff was floating around out there, and you actually had developers who were literally getting their lives threatened. I mean, people literally threatened to kill them over what they thought the narrative was for this game. But myself, as well as the content creators that are on today, we didn't jump to conclusions because we knew, hey, whatever the narrative is, we got to figure out the context and how it got there. So I just want y'all to talk to me for a second, because I will say I read half of Miller's article, and the only reason I didn't read the other half is because I could tell it was probably finna get into a level that I wasn't ready to know yet. So, because, you know, Miller is that dude, man. So shout out to Miller tonight. But talk to us just for a second. You know, I'm going to start with you, Doom. What are your thoughts now? Because people are quiet now. Folks are quiet as a church house mouse. Now that Miller done set the record straight, I don't hear nobody saying nothing. Like the trolls that I had on my page times before that was just so much nonsense. But now everybody is quiet, man. It seems like there's a positive narrative going on with the game right now. What's your thoughts, bro?
I'm gonna just say this: Miller did his magic, bro. Y'all know Miller, man, and y'all know how the dude come through. He was highly upset that false narrative was going around, because y'all know Miller is excited about this game. This is his new Avengers. You know what I mean? He's already deep diving in there, getting all of the good nooks and crannies out the way. So for him to put out that article, which came from the heart and nothing but facts in it, you know what I'm saying? It really shook the community, that Arkham community. It was like, hold on, wait, hold on. You know what? Let me go ahead and be quiet and wait till the damn game come out. And that's all I really want. I didn't understand the insane amount of hate this game. I actually locked my account down over the Christmas holidays. I didn't even want to deal with it no more. I was like, bro, I put out one tweet excited about the game. Now I work for WB. I'm getting paid all kind of money from, you know what I'm saying, for sponsoring the game. Yeah, I'm a shill because I think the suits are cool, the ones that they showed us and stuff like that. I've got called all kind of vile names because I thought the addition of Kid Ivy was cool. You know what I'm saying? Right. Literally. So I shut down over the Christmas holidays. I was like, I'm about to go spend this time with my family. Y'all can have the internet. And they literally had the internet until Miller's article dropped. So I don't know, bro. I'm just happy that the narrative is now where it should be. Let's wait till this game comes out so we can get our hands on it, break it down, do what we do best as content creators, and let that opinion, after playing the game, not just assuming
Exactly.
what's gonna happen. We're gonna play the game and find out what happens for ourselves. And us going through that narrative, us going through that story is gonna be a good thing. That's all I gotta say about it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, man, you know what? I don't blame you, bro. I mean, it's sad that people actually had to battle on Christmas Day. I mean, this is the most wonderful time of the year. This is supposed to be like the most happiest time of the year, bro. And people was just going in, man. The haters was just at an all-time high before the Miller article. But like I say, after the fact that he set the record straight, people have been quiet, man. We're starting to see the tides turn. Casual, what are your thoughts on this, man?
Typical internet nonsense, bro. It's the internet at this point. We're going into 2024 and it's not slowing down at this point. People jumping off the fence with, wild, just, I don't even know what to call it because it's not based in reality or facts or anything like that. So it's like, I believe an opinion should be supported by something, so it's like, if you're going to throw your opinion out there, you should at least be able to back that up with something substantial that supports what you're saying. And these people just, make up stuff in their head and jump off the porch with it. And it's like, oh, well, I hate the developers because this thing I made up in my mind isn't a reality in your game. So I'm sending death threats and diss tracks on Christmas and stuff like that. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
We really gonna call that a diss track, or we really gonna call that a diss track?
It was a failed attempt at a diss track. I didn't get a minute of my time, bro.
Boy,
you couldn't get a minute of my time, bro. My time is precious, especially nowadays. So it's like I can't hand it out to that kind of stuff. But this is what people are doing with their life, honestly. And it's like it's sad. I feel for you because like if these were kids, it would be one thing. So if these are like 12, 13-year-olds. Your mind is shaped by the TikTok generation, so I get it. These are 30, 40-year-old people with kids, bro, and it's like, I don't know how you living out here, but the game itself, it looks like they're trying to capitalize on the void that was left by so many games that kind of set up expectations for stuff like this. So Avengers. Most of the people here know about Avengers. A lot of people were familiar with Gotham Knights, and those games left a lot to be desired in terms of a live service game and a multiplayer game. And day one, and credit to Gotham Knights because they capitalized on some of the gaps that Avengers left with. They didn't have crossplay; they had join in progress. But it's like Suicide Squad, join in progress, crossplay. You can change your gear and stuff. It's like
you can level up if you have it on Xbox and PlayStation.
Exactly, and that's huge, Doom, because not only is it crossplay, but it's cross progression as well. And that's huge because me personally, having multiple systems, I like the ability to be able to, jump on my handheld, jump on the PC, jump on the PS5. So cross progression is everything. Listen, chat, we got our fourth guest is in this camp. So let me go ahead and bring him in because we want to get his perspective on this as well. Listen, everybody help welcome to the podcast for the first time here on the Deeper Level, none other than Mr. High Ruler. What is up, High Ruler?
What's going on, guys? What's up? I see Casual Venture took my look today, so it's kind of unfortunate, but it's fine. We all can't win. But what's going on, guys? How y'all doing?
Man, what is up, bro? Listen, I'm just going to catch you up on the conversation. So we're kind of talking about, Miller released his article this week, and it seems like it shifted the narrative about the game. I don't see as much hate going around. A lot of people are eating humble pie right now, man, and, kind of got their foots in the mouth, especially after Miller set the record straight over the leaks that were incorrect and out of context, man. So what's your thoughts about that now that the narrative has been set straight and the record's been set straight?
I mean, you'll never see too many people do a backpedal because I think it ruins like their narrative about the game. I think people just kind of like maybe lightly acknowledge that things may not be what they seem, but they'll never fully be like, oh, I was wrong, because then, every other content or every other comment they've made after that, they would have to acknowledge that all those are wrong, right? So, at the end of the day, the best you can get is that the game turns out well, and all these people have, I don't know if we can swear or not, so I'll say shut the heck up. Like I think that's the only thing that you can really do now, right? Is that there's two camps, I guess. There's like the people who have like firmly like decided this game is gonna suck, and those people start and end with Casual Avenger, and then there's other people who are like very hopeful. And now you could pull people from one camp to another, depending on the leaks or whatever else comes out. But for a lot of these people, mainly, a lot of the YouTubers, I think you just kind of have to acknowledge that no matter what, they'll probably double down on some other point and they'll just never kind of move on.
Absolutely. And I think I've seen that happen. There are some people that I've seen double down now that the leaks have been set straight. Now I'm seeing people go into stuff like the fact that, Ivy is a child. I mean, just dumb stuff, man, because they had to say something. So I feel like, the game is being received in a more positive, light now, especially the post after the fact of Miller writing his article. But then, like you said, man, some people are going to have too much pride to say, look, I was wrong. So we're definitely not hearing people coming out and, apologizing or things like that. But along with that, this thing goes actually even deeper, because there was a post and I saw this, and I want to thank you, shout out to High Ruler for releasing this, because I didn't know it until I saw it on your page. But there was a post on Reddit that was released by one of the brothers of the senior developer, who stated he really feel like his brother died due to the emotional stress he was under with the attacks and negative feedback that he was receiving about the games. Like, the devs have literally been through it with this game. What are some of y'all thoughts about that? I think his name was Matthew. He was like a senior developer, but it just got to be more than he could bear, emotionally. So that was really unfortunate. But I saw you share there earlier, High Ruler. What are y'all thoughts about that?
Man, I read that, and it was pretty sad. But the actual, some of the comments that I seen on it just like, come on, man, it's like Christmas time.
Yeah,
have a heart, have some kind of compassion, even if a little empathy, maybe. Like,
yeah,
it's, bro, 2023 was a wild year for the internet, and it really showed that people really just, they have no souls, man. And like that situation for me was almost heartbreaking. You know what I mean? Like, dang, this dude was so stressed out because of, he's just trying to do his job. You know what I mean? And people are literally hounding him because his job isn't what they want it to be. You know what I mean? And I'm like, bro, like, just let the man do his thing and work without all of the extra. And after his death, after somebody is just like pleading for people to be humans, you still got bruh, like, it's just sad, dude. The whole situation is for real sad, and is I don't really have no words for it, to be honest with you. I'm a grown man. I got a wife and family. Like, that's literally why I locked down for the holidays, bro. Because like, for what? I don't want to end up like, like the guy from Rocksteady. You know what I'm saying? I'm not letting their lack of humanity affect me. And that's really all I gotta say with it. I feel so bad for that dev and for his family, because people are soulless right now, dude. Like, that's really all I got, fam. They're soulless right now, and it's horrible.
Facts, man. Casual, what are your thoughts on this, man? I mean, I think there ought to be a line that we draw, even if a person doesn't like something. I mean, my thought process has always been just keep it moving, move on. What are your thought processes about this?
As Doom said, it's extremely unfortunate, bro. And that's why I said that's what makes it sadder, is these are adults. Like, these are people our age behaving like this, and that's ridiculous. Like, I couldn't imagine that, bro. Like, wait, that's true. I'm the man before time. So, but yeah, it's like, bro, like, what are we doing out here? And it's people in the comments like, oh, well, I'm still going to criticize the game. It's like, bro, it's not about that. It's literally not even about that right now. Like, you can criticize the game. It's you not liking the game is the least important thing right now. You haven't even played the game, so what do you criticize? Like, chill out. And it's like they really forget that these are real people, bro. Like, if you work a real job, your job is not always pleasant. Like, you can hate your boss, you can hate your assignments, you can hate your position and the job, and having to go in and deal with that mentally day in and day out on top of whatever you're dealing with in real life can compound that. And then you throw the madness of social media on top. Is like, I can 100% see this person's mental health being, just trashed by nonsensical hate from people who is proven every day that these people cannot stand up to the same criticism they hand out. All father, somebody was baking his picture the other day. He started handing out bacons, and everybody, oh, now I'm changing my picture. Now I'm hiding what I said. I'm deleting my post. Bro, but you talking with your chest all day, every day on here until somebody called you out on this. Like, you're not who you think you are, bro. And to be ruining people's lives with that kind of nonsense is crazy, especially over a video game, bro. I come from a generation where video games was the highlight of the day. A new game was,
right.
That's what got us hyped. Not, oh, well, this doesn't look like the last game, or this isn't this kind of game. Let's hate it. It's like, bro, what are you doing?
Absolutely, facts, man.
That's my piece.
When you first shared that, High Ruler, reading the article, of course, before sharing it, what was going through your mind? What was on your mind, man, when you saw that? Because that's just crazy, man. But like I said, when I read what you shared, my mind was blown because I didn't even know that it happened, man. But what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, it's unfortunate. This is like a consequence of like where things are going on the internet. I mean, you can almost expand it to like a broader point. Hoarder actually brought up a good point with like people being anonymous on the internet, and they have like the freedom to a certain extent to like say whatever they want. People, you could work a regular job, you could be a game developer or whatever, and the moment you have a social media presence, you are basically a target for anyone who wants you to be the target, right? And I think it's super unfortunate that these people, similar to the points that have been made, that like they work their 9 to 5s or whatever they work, and then maybe they have Rocksteady or whatever developer in their Twitter bio, and immediately right then and there they're now target number one, right? It's super unfortunate that like we live in a world that like people are monetizing hate to the degree that they are, and they're now rallying their fan bases to then become like little attack dogs against people who definitely don't deserve it. And I think that's just unfortunate all the way around. It's a cultural problem more than it is a video game problem, and it's an internet problem. So it's something we'll never fully solve, I don't think. The only way to solve it is like with extreme measures on the internet. So we just kind of have to like we kind of have to do our best to like shame these people when they pop up, right? Like if you see a YouTuber that does it, you kind of just have to shame them and kind of make them feel like garbage for doing it. Because like there's never going to be a world where we 100% eliminate it, and it's like unfortunate because like what I'm saying can be misconstrued as like you have to fight bullies, you have to bully them, but like the reality is that if someone's kind of being like a jerk on the internet, you kind of have to put them on the pedestal to be shown that they're being a jerk, right? Like
I get it.
So, like societal pressure, cultural pressure is like the only way we can change these people, because like, and in some ways that is going to make some of them double down, but like there's no other options here, right? Unless we like fully make sure that like everyone who signs up on Twitter provides like a government ID, and anyone who signs up on YouTube provides a government ID, right? Like there's no easy answer here. It's just unfortunate that we just now live in a world where I can make a video that says Suicide Squad sucks, 10 reasons why, gets 1 million views. And everyone jumps on that, wants to talk about how much this game sucks. No one's ever played it, or they've played it, they've played like a little bit in an alpha, versus like, I say, here's 10 reasons why I like Suicide Squad, or I'm excited for it. Doesn't have that same, kind of pull. And that's just a cultural problem, unfortunately. So unfortunate. It sucks. I feel bad for the family. I feel bad for anyone who's affected by it. At the end of the day, I think you just like, we as people have to do better, and you have to hold the people accountable for their actions, I guess.
Well, to correct High Ruler, we actually played the beta. We played the beta, as we found out on the internet via Twitter.
Oh yeah, sorry. Let me just stand corrected here. Beta testing.
Exactly.
Alpha, baby.
I literally had
somebody argue for hours that it was the beta.
Exactly.
He's 100% right.
Oh, I played the beta. I'm like, what beta? Oh yeah, I played the beta. You guys are behind. I'm like, okay, you're talking about the alpha, because there was an alpha, there wasn't a beta, but even with that, speaking of a beta, let's just talk about this for a second. And I kind of want to get your thoughts on this. I put a poll out, and I had probably 150 different people respond with yes, of course, but I got some interesting feedback as well. Do you think being this late in the game, being this close to the game, being less than 30 days away, do you think it would be in the best interest of Rocksteady to do an open beta?
Nope. Nope.
Um,
Let them people starve, man. They want to hate on the game. Let them starve.
I would say yes, because thinking purely on the development side of things, things can go fine in the small testing that they do on their side of things, but once they go live, all kind of new bugs can crop up, all manner of issues can arise. And if you can do a beta early in January or mid-January, that will help you prepare for launch and maybe fine-tune things behind the scenes so that you have a smoother launch, I would be for it. If you talk about it, after playing the beta, obviously you're going to get shut down. They've been shutting people's stuff down left and right. So it's like, if you're dumb enough to break NDA, then obviously you won't get too far with it. But if it's going to help provide valuable feedback, I would say yes. I think they should push go.
You don't have to sign NDAs for open betas, though, do you?
No, you do. You get in order to play the game, you got to do it.
Well,
wait, open beta. Open beta. Hey, it's Sunday.
So okay, I got Doom's point of view. I got Casual's point of view. Hey, Doom say let them starve. You know what? I kind of feel you on that, Doom, and here's why. Because somebody is lying. As much hate as this game was receiving, when they talked about opening registration for the alpha, like they broke the internet. There was so much of a response with Rocksteady, like it literally crashed. So I'm willing to bet that some of these people that was hating was low-key fans. But what are your thoughts, Hyrule? You think we need a beta or not?
Yeah, I would probably say just for the technical side of like this is their first multiplayer game. Now, granted, like the alpha did pretty well. I don't know if I can say that.
Nope.
I've heard that the alpha did pretty well performance-wise by what I've heard from anonymous people on the internet. Thanks, Twitter users. But like at the end of the day, I think what we need to do is have a beta that just allows people to get on, as many people as they can, right? Because the one thing that will like literally sink this game is that everyone logs in January 30th, February 2nd. And there's too many people, servers are crapping out, can't play with your friends. And they can't wholly predict how many people are going to play on these, the early access launch and then like the full launch. But I think they need to have like a gauge of like where their servers are at, how many they need to spin up. And I think an open beta gives them that opportunity.
Facts, exactly. So just from the technical side, from what Casual and Hyrule is saying, that we need an open beta just to stress test the servers, see where they really are. Definitely noted. So I want to get to this community question. I allow people to send me questions from the community who wanted to ask these to the content creators tonight and just kind of generate some discussion. So I'm going to ask the first community question, and then we're going to take our first caller in just a few minutes here. One question that came in from Digital Variable was, do you think seasons will be themed in this game? And if so, what themes would you like to see? What do you expect to see in the themes? Let's go, Doom Killer.
I guess. I mean, I really have no clue what the season's going to be like, but I'm expecting at least a new villain to play with, you know what I mean, and a new Justice League member to defeat. That's what I'm, that's maybe like you revisiting Superman and you have a Superman dungeon in season 2, you know what I mean? Or
Gotcha.
like there's a raid where you're fighting everybody or something. I think Ruler would be better at answering this question. He's the Destiny God, you know what I'm saying? So he knows about seasons. Like I'm hoping for the best, but I come from Avengers, bro. So seasons don't mean nothing.
What's a season, bro?
Hey, shout out real quick to Sadat the Gamer with the comment feet ruler. We're gonna keep it moving. What you think, Casual? Do you think that we'll get seasons in the game? Do you think they'll be themed? What are you expecting to see?
I think if there's an opportunity there, I can definitely see Rocksteady taking advantage of that. As Doom just mentioned, that was a thing that was lacking in some other multiplayer games, live service games. So I like as much ground as they've covered, or as much of the bases they have covered before the game is even launched. I can definitely see seasons being something they have planned, or at the very least, some new fire or like Halloween costumes, Christmas themed costumes, things like that. So it's like that would be dope. Is it something that would make or break the game? I don't necessarily think so, but I'm pretty sure there will be a contingent of people who will use that as a platform to hate on the game if it doesn't. But we'll see.
Absolutely, because they're gonna use anything that they can use. Hyrule, do you think we'll get seasons? And if we do, what do you expect to see?
Yeah, I think seasons are kind of needed in a live service game because I think it ties a little bit of a story together. So I think the way you look at seasons is you take a season as like a micro story or like a chapter of a book, right? But then you combine a bunch of chapters to get to the end of the book, right? So I think what you have to do is you start laying the breadcrumbs in season 1, season 2, and then you kind of have a finale for that, whether that's like 3 or 4. I don't know if this game's going to last 12, 14, 16, 18 months, but I think you almost have to kind of lead in to whatever your finale is going to be, your planned finale, by starting that with seasons, right? So for example, if we take Doom's idea, right, and say we have to refight certain Justice League members over the course of like certain seasons, then your finale may ultimately be you fight the Justice League as a whole, right? Just for example, right? So I think what they have to do is, if they are going to do seasons and they are going to theme it, I think each theme has to kind of play into itself, but tell a broader story through the breadcrumbs that they're going to lay. If they do that, they're well on their way to creating a really cool, cohesive, post-launch narrative. Remains to be seen how they kind of do it or what they do it with. Everyone's got their theories of like the multiverse and Brainiac and whatever else, but it's the structure and the format that'll really tell it, because if they could tell a really cool story in a good format that is engaging and people come back, I mean, they're well on their way to creating a winning formula, right? So
absolutely, I totally agree. Listen, we've got our first caller that's just popped in, and he's going to offer a point of view or either a question that we're going to discuss to the creators tonight. So let us welcome to the Deeper Level podcast for the first time, none other than Taladia Plays. What is good, man? How are you?
Hey, thanks for having me on.
Absolutely.
what's going on?
What's
What's up?
good, bro?
What's up, guys?
So,
Obviously, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, what is your point of view, or what is your question?
So my point of view on Suicide Squad is that it's very exciting to see a live service game where we get to play as the villains instead of the heroes, and there's so much excitement because you could expand the Suicide Squad from the main 4. So there's tons of different characters, like for example Peacemaker, or for example Katana, or Killer Croc, or whoever. You can bring them into the fold and still have fun playing that for future content going forward. Because I truly believe that this game will be a success, in my opinion. I truly believe that Suicide Squad Killer Justice League will have a very good story to tell, and I'm looking forward to playing it with my friends.
Absolutely. So Taladia, you're basically, what he's saying is that the possibilities are endless, allowing us to have the narrative of playing with the villains. There are so many different people that you can introduce with this game, and I totally agree with that. Doom Killer, what's your thoughts to the point that he just made about the possibilities being endless with this game, and feeling that this game will be successful? Because I personally feel that way too. Now I've kind of heard through the grapevine that there's already months and months of content that's already planned post launch. But what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, he's right as far as I'm concerned. There's tons of characters that could be brought into the game, but if there's no clone Bucky, that runs like Captain America, it's trash to me, bro. Like, I'm sorry, like, but on a more serious note, like, I mean, with the addition of all of the people you could bring in from the Suicide Squad, all of the people you could bring in from the Justice League, the variation with enemy types. As big as Metropolis is, if they want to bring back Gotham and and have us move to Gotham for a little bit, because that's where the next villain or the next season leads us to, there's endless possibilities. Like you said, I mean, we can go to Oa, we can go to the Amazon land, Themyscira or whatever. We can go to Star City and fight Kid Flash because they've taken it over Kid Flash and he's mad that we've killed Barry or something. You know what I'm saying? Like there's the entire Teen Titans that are still out there. You know what I mean? What happened to them? You know what I mean? There's so many endless possibilities, but again, coming from the Avengers, I just hope that they can deliver. And I don't want to put out too much like this is what I want, and they don't do it, and people start harassing the devs and stuff. You know what I'm saying? So.
Absolutely. Now I'm gonna bring up a comment by Malcolm Evans right quick. Because what he said, man, is really facts. We can all talk about this stuff now because the game is no longer a thing. But let's look at Malcolm's comment, and he said, "Avengers, what's a loadout? There's just a button that says loadouts." Now, here's the thing, man. I mean, this game definitely needs loadouts. I really hope that loadouts are a thing. I really do feel that this game will capitalize on the places where Avengers fail. So I'm super, super excited. Again, like Taladia says, I think this will be really, really successful. Let me get another community question in, and then we'll go around and get everybody's thought process on this. So this community question comes in from Saul DeBoy 4162. He says, do you think Suicide Squad will allow the players to choose if they want to save the Justice League members or not, kind of like how in Web of Shadows gave us black suit choices and then regular Spider-Man choices throughout the story? Casual Avenger, what do you think about that?
Unfortunately, I don't expect something like that. Gaming in general just seems to be moving away from like the choice system. Mainly because I think ultimately there's never much variety. So it's like one or two choices that vary in terms of change or difference in how it affects the overall story. But something like that, I definitely think is something a studio could capitalize on. Like Spider-Man is a game that that offers a lot of potential with a choice system or something like that. And Suicide Squad, I think that would be something that players would be interested in, but I don't think that's the route they chose to go with this particular project.
Gotcha. Noted. Casual. So I totally understand your point of view. High Ruler, what do you think about that? Do you think this game will incorporate a choice system, or are you kind of with Casual on the fact that not so much on this particular game?
I think it's a really interesting idea. I think personally, if I had to put money on it, if I was a gambling man, I'd probably put money on that they aren't going to do it. I think it's a really interesting idea though, just for the fact that like a lot of the people who are super upsetty spaghetti could like have their head canon and be like, oh, Batman lives in my playthrough, right? But like the problem with these choices, especially in a live service game, is that no matter how you kind of choose, there's always going to be a canon storyline, right? So, you know, maybe in your head canon, and the way you choose, you don't kill Batman. But, to Rocksteady, as they put out DLC content and they put out expansions or whatever have you, Batman is dead, right? Which kind of ruins that immersion aspect of it. So, yeah, I mean, like, is it a cool idea? Is it something that they could do? Yeah, theoretically. But is it worth the time, effort, and money knowing that, like, you're going to have to put out live service content that has to pick a storyline anyways? It's probably not worth all that effort. So I probably wouldn't put money on them having that in their game.
Got it. So check this out, chat. This next community question comes in. Now this is actually an interesting question, and I'm gonna say this for several reasons. Because it's actually a legit question on a couple of levels. I personally don't play this game, so I can't really speak to it. So I'm definitely wanting to get the feedback, from other individuals and other creators on the call who can definitely speak to this. So this question comes in from Cap Tay. He's actually in the chat too. Shout out to Cap Tay, 7251. He says, what are your thoughts? He wanted to ask the creators. what are your thoughts on everybody comparing this game to Fortnite?
What?
Why would you do that?
Now,
It's
now,
just
now,
what?
here's the thing. I've actually seen that. Now of course this could have came from the trolls or whatnot, but do you think I don't play Fortnite, so I don't know, but do you think there's any similar elements, or are people just trolling?
It's the only thing I can see is that it's made on Unreal, and that's about it. Like, because I would compare this game more of to a Destiny / Outriders / Avengers. If all of those three games was one game, it would be Suicide Squad. Like, that's how I compare it. Fortnite is nothing.
No,
No.
that's crazy to think. To think it's like Fortnite. No,
Do you guys want me to play devil's advocate here?
go on,
Please.
go
Yeah,
ahead.
Okay, so like the only possible way that you could probably compare it to Fortnite is in like a few different ways, right? So, three main ways. If my dog will ever stop whining at me, Fortnite does have the PvE mode, right? It's a third-person shooter, and then they do DC skins sometimes, right? So like for the people who like really love DC skins, they'd be like, oh, but like these skins are done like way better in Fortnite, right? We saw that many times over. If you were looking at like the PvE side and like the way things play out, I mean, it's not comparable in the sense that like they're structured very differently. But like obviously, if you really want to make the broad comparison of like PvE, then I guess you could. And then like third person shooters. But like, I've heard that Suicide Squad feels very different than Fortnite by the anonymous Twitter users. So
I love
I don't think there's really much comparison there in terms of the way the game feels. So I mean, like, could you? Yeah, maybe, but like, there's very weak comparisons there. I would probably agree with Doom that like, the game probably is more so comparable to like an Outriders, Destiny, The Division, even like, I think anyone who's played The Division is in for a real treat with Suicide Squad because I think the systems in The Division are being carried over into Suicide Squad. So I think there's actually like a good comparison. It's over there.
I would have to agree with High Ruler here
Mhm.
because, like, for me, it feels definitely like Destiny 2.
What do you mean for you? It feels like you wouldn't know anything about that. You mean the anonymous Twitter user?
The anonymous Twitter
Twitter.
users. Yeah.
No, I mean what Hyrule is saying about the game comparison to the Division and Destiny
Oh,
2.
okay. Because you never
Yeah.
played.
No, I have played
Suicide Squad.
Division. No,
Okay, all right.
I have played the Division 2, and I played uh Destiny 2 as well. I used to play that back in the day.
Mhm.
So that's what got me excited for this game. It's like for Suicide Squad, it's like it just brings back all the nostalgia feelings when I used to play those games.
I got you.
Oh, when you
Got
see it, it gives. Okay, all right. I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
So Casual, I don't know if you play Fortnite or not, man, but can you see that or no?
I think it really comes down to the fact that a lot of people on Twitter share the same brain, and whoever had that comment, it was their turn with the brain, and I guess it took off from there. Because it's like, bro, what are we doing? Like, what are we even talking about? this game looked completely different, but it could be similar to the disingenuous comparisons between Spider-Man and Avengers and Spider-Man and Fortnite. So if that's what we're doing, hey, the internet is going to internet. But if you're genuinely looking at these two games as being remotely similar outside of people with guns, God bless you. Yeah. Hope you have a good 2024, bro.
Hey, man. Hey, you know what? The internet be wilding, man. I'm telling you, it is crazy right now. But let's talk about mains for a second, because there's so much that I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see all of the builds. The build videos that are coming. I'm excited to see the combos. I'm excited to see, what type of weapons are there. I actually didn't notice this until somebody pointed it out on my YouTube channel that in the Suicide Squad Insider 2 episode, there was actually a spot where Deadshot was getting ready to transition and switch over to Harley Quinn in the gameplay. Well, if you look in the lower left corner, and I did a video on this, you can actually see one of the pistols that Deadshot has equipped is actually got a Bizarro symbol on the pistol. Now, I'm pretty sure that's just like a Bizarro themed weapon as far as the skin, because I think with the pre-order, there's like a Black Mask skin or something like that that's included. So With that being said, what do you guys think? Like, do you think this will just be skins for these weapons and just ways for them to like acknowledge other characters within the lore, or do you think that these weapons may come with some type of advantages as far as abilities?
Yeah, definitely
Yeah, I think
abilities. I've
it's
seen Harley Quinn shoot somebody with a pistol, and she gets a whole bang type of explosion with the skull and everything on it. So I know that there is going to be villain themed weapons, like, and maybe even hero themed weapons, like or suits or stuff like that, like Wayne Tech and Bizarro, not tech, but Bizarro enhancements to go on to the weapons and things like that. They've shown that in the Insider, so that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, I think it's going to function similar to how like the Wakanda gear and Avengers, whereas the buffs have very different effects on enemies and characters and things like that. So, like I said, I feel like that kind of stuff is standard for multiplayer, looter shooters at this point. Just to give people some variety and something to chase, and things like that. So, like I said, they've been cooking, bro. They've been cooking.
Yeah, they cooking. They cooking. High Ruler, what do you think about that, man? You think we get perks with these skins or what?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like, from my understanding, that there's going to be what's the word I'm looking for? What do they call them? Manufacturers for like different weapons. So like
Yes.
you'll have like certain manufacturers, and then I could even see like those only go up to a certain rarity, and then once you get up to a certain rarity, you're able to unlock like unique weapons, for example, right? And those unique weapons could have like those more like crazy and cool perks, right? So I don't think there's skins necessarily, that they just are like unique weapons that you're able to find, and then those unique weapons will have like certain effects on them that you're able to kind of like use and do cool stuff with.
Absolutely. To a lot of your plays, what's your thought process?
My thought process is like the perks. It'd be really cool to see like a freeze. For example, Bizarro has the free, what's it called, freeze rays. So for example, one of the guns has that, and that ability will be able to freeze up the enemies for every shot you do. And I think that would be really cool for the game. And for example, I saw what's his name, uh, the fire dude. I forgot his name now.
El Diablo.
El Diablo. That's it. Yeah. So for example, you got El Diablo, and he could do the fire stuff. So you could mixture between both, and it can help you out in game.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember in Avengers there was something similar to that, except for there was in the Avengers game there was like different start, like for example Stark tech, or you had um some other tech you could use and abilities and whatnot. So
Mm-hmm.
so it'd be really interesting to see that in Suicide Squad. I know it's a shooter based game and it's nothing compared to Avengers, but it's got me excited just to try these new new things out for the game. So
You trying to run that battery effect real quick. You want that cryoplasma.
yeah, obviously I want to freeze them. I want to freeze them so badly.
But that's speaking to his point, like that's the part that's confusing about people's take on this game. So far as like I see so many people genuinely excited, like chomping at the bit at all of the stuff they've teased so far. We haven't seen everything, but
Right.
just the little bit that they've shown off that's going to be possible and capable to be in this game, people are genuinely excited, and it's like people are just trying to piss on that at every turn. It's like, bro, I am not the biggest Suicide Squad fan, bro. Like, if you want to excite me, show me that I can play with Mr. Freeze. Like that'll get me to that level of excitement. But still, objectively, they are killing it with this game. Like, seeing where so many other games have failed in this same space, they are showing up ready to go day one, and people just seeing people so passionate. Like King Greek, that's a guy who looks like he'll rob you, but he actually has knowledge about these games he wants to share with you. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, seeing people like that get super excited and just digging into the smaller details is like, you can't help but be, just impassioned by that.
I got a question for you, Deeper Death.
Yes, sir.
It was announced that the DLC, I'm pretty sure that's what it was announced. I'm not sure, but I think it was announced that the DLC for Suicide Squad would be free. What are your thoughts on that coming from the community that we come from and knowing, what we know?
Okay, so that's probably Doom my main concern about the game. I personally, again, I played live service games for years, and my go-to in a live service game, the first live service game that I actually ever got involved with was Final Fantasy 11 way back in 2002. And they used to have monthly subscription fees of like $6.99, and I paid that $6.99 all the way up till like 2017, and that $6.99 turned into like $12.99. But when you had probably 5 million players at the time, all paying that amount of money, that was a bag that they always had the resources financially for developers to keep implementing and doing new stuff with the game. So that's why to this day the game is still playable. Now, of course, Final Fantasy 14 is taken over and people are not really on 11 like that anymore, but still it is an active game that you can play. So when it comes to free DLC, you just have to have the right way to monetize this so that the development team will continue to have the funds and the resources, because the suits, the people at the top, all they care about is that mighty dollar. And if the game is profitable, yes, they'll allow the devs to keep working and doing what they do. But if it ever gets to a point to where the mother company, WB or whatever, is not making what they want to make, then that's when they make the decision to shut it down. So I hope that the way that they're monetizing the game, of course, I know it'll be skins. I know there's a battle pass, and I still didn't get people being upset about the battle pass, because Call of Duty, for that matter, has a battle pass. I mean, if you don't like it, just don't buy it. But you can definitely still earn stuff in the game. Personally, I'm willing to pay for DLC. I don't. I hope that DLC doesn't continue to stay free, because again, I'm just worried about how do you monetize the game. But I'm glad you brought that up, Doom. What are y'all thoughts on that free DLC?
I would so I would say, I think looking back on Avengers and looking at what so many other games have done in terms of announcing free DLC, we've seen other projects where they're like, no, you got to pay for this stuff. Like Midnight Suns, they had a strategy for their DLC content that they stuck to and executed perfectly. Like, that stuff was coming out like clockwork. You can buy it. You can buy it all, or you can buy it in increments, however you want to do it. But I think that's all factored into their initial projected sales. So they are projecting a certain amount of sales that should justify and cover the first year of post-launch content. And I think they're saving money because it is an IP that WB already owns, so they don't have to pay a licensing fee or anything like that. So
Right.
they're not under the gun the same way Marvel Games will have a studio under the gun, because they're like, hey, we expected this much, and then there's nobody telling them no to specific characters and things like that. So you can build a strong foundation in a year. You already have content you've been working on with the full team, because once games go live, the majority of the team moves on to other projects, and you have a smaller team maintaining the game. So it's like, I hope their estimates are correct, but I also still feel like they have a bit of breathing room, even if the game doesn't meet the initial sales that they're hoping to see, just because they've already had that content in development and ready to roll out. So they can stick to the game plan of making it free. I don't believe they're going to stick to it being free beyond that first season of initial content, hopefully. But I think the reason they're going free initially is because that's factored into the projected sales expectation.
Now let me just chime in and say this, because the Embracer Group, I still feel like the Embracer Group had a secret agenda to end gaming. Like, Doc, listen, the Embracer Group was shutting down not just Avengers, but announcement after announcement after announcement. Embracer Group has shut down another game. But anyway, I digress. Paid DLC, non-paid DLC. What are your thoughts, High Ruler?
He's
He's
not
not
there.
here.
I really
He took
not in the building.
Okay. All right. Well, to a lot of your plays, what do you think about that?
I think personally, I would do the first year free DLC, and then afterwards start doing paid DLC, because it makes sense. Don't rush into things like how Avengers was, where like they did all free DLC content, and then afterwards it was like, there was not much content after that first year. But if Suicide Squad does that first year free DLC, maybe just a couple of characters, but you do like afterwards, then if you do a big story pack, you make that payable, which is in the second year, first quarter first quarter in the second year of the game's release, and that way the longevity lasts long. You see, people will play the game a little bit more, and they'll want to experience that story, so they'll buy that pack just to play the story expansion. Just how like think about how Batman Arkham Knight was. They had a season pass, and that you had to pay in order for you to get the expansion story, basically. So imagine that we get that after we got the free DLC.
Got it. Doom, what do you think about it, man? Do you think that's the right move, initially, or will that only last so long and then go pay DLC? What you think?
Yeah, I agree with Cass in what he said. I didn't even think about it like that, and actually, I wasn't all the way sure how it was going to work. But if it works the way y'all saying it, I think that's actually brilliant because it does keep the player base satisfied until the next one. Like if they do a series like their first free DLC, which has a crazy cliffhanger, you're gonna want to play that.
Right.
Was
Right.
Okay, now it's time to drop some loot on this. Okay, between 14 and $30 for the DLC, which comes with a hero pack or whatnot. Say you get your season pass for getting the DLC, which is the battle pass or whatever, and there's like a dungeon or a raid or something that comes with it. People like who like games like Destiny, who like games like Avengers, who like games like Outriders, they're gonna eat that up. That's money in the bank for them. So if enough people are willing to spend that money, which if the game is as good as I'm hoping it is, there's going to be people willing to spend that money. That's substantial. You know what I mean? That's going to sustain the next season pass or the next DLC. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's a good idea if they twerking it like the way Cass said they was twerking it.
Yes, sir. And again, I'm not going to say that this game doesn't have to prove itself, because it does. I mean, so many other games that has come before it, people have seen the pitfalls that they've had. So I know there's some skepticism there, and rightfully so. So I think it may be in the best interest to offer that DLC free initially, just to prove themselves and say, hey, we're committed to this as a development team to putting out good content. So boom, this next season we're going to charge for it, and I think they've got the opportunity to prove themselves. What is your thought process, High Ruler, on DLC being free initially? Think that's a good move or no?
Yeah, my bad. I have to rescue my puppy from outside.
Oh, you good? You good,
bro? Yeah. So it's tough because I'm always of the belief that you shouldn't try to separate your player base or segment it too much, because then queue times get long and it becomes a hassle more than it's worth. So I'm always gonna side with the fact that the more people, the less barriers to entry is probably the better. The less barriers you have to play with your friends is probably better. And just the ability to log in and play whatever content you want, whenever you want, is obviously better, right? The question is how do you monetize that, right? So if they were to do that, where the initial stuff was free, kind of the first one's free, yeah, I mean, sure, I'm not gonna disagree, but at the end of the day, whether they go the monetization route of battle passes and costumes, or whether they do DLCs and expansions, the dollar value has to be there, right? If I pay $14 for a skin, what kind of skin am I getting? What kind of effects does it have? How good does it look, right? Versus I pay $30 for an expansion. What kind of content do I have? Do I have a 2 to 3 hour story? Do I have 2 to 3 dungeons? Do I have a raid attached to that, right? Because if, for example, you put out a $30 expansion, it's got a really cool raid, but you only have maybe a raid in a dungeon, no one's going to buy that, right? So then I'm going to be the doofus queuing for 5 minutes trying to get people to play with me, right? So it's always about the value to people. And personally, I would much rather them put out really cool battle passes with really cool skins, and then keep the way I play with my friends free, or whether you just do the story content and you pay lock the story content, but then the dungeons and raids are free or something. I don't know. I mean, there's multiple ways to do it. I'm just always going to be of the favor of like, I just want to play with my friends. Make that super easy, make that super simple, and I'll pay whatever needs to be paid at that point. So,
and you know what? I think that's what you said. That's really the biggest highlight of this game to me, is because a lot of my friend base was from the Avengers community, and we haven't had a game that's really brought the community together and united us since Marvel's Avengers. So I think that's the opportunity about this game that I'm most looking forward to, is just to link back up and run with the homies and run the squad. I'm just super excited about the opportunity just to again see everybody's bills and just come together and just have some fun, man. Let's talk about mains for a second. Casual, who you maining, bro? Who you starting with?
It's looking like Deadshot or Boomerang.
Gotcha.
One of those two.
Deadshot or Boomerang. Doom, what you thinking, man? Who you maining?
From everything that I have seen on Twitter and in the YouTube and Reddit spaces, because I wouldn't know how they feel or anything, but what I've seen, I would have to say I would go with Boomerang or Deadshot myself. I like Deadshot's clothing, and from what I've seen, the way Boomer moves is pretty cool. So I'm gonna just leave that at that. Boomer and Deadshot, from what I've seen.
Gotcha. Boomer and Deadshot. It's a lot of your plays, man. Who you maining? Who you starting with?
King Shark all the way. King Shark. I already said this from the get go that I was gonna pick King Shark, not only because he's got the Superman skin, but because he looks like a fun character to play. Just by watching the gameplay on screen, it just looks really entertaining. And he's voiced by my favorite wrestler, by the way, AEW star.
Yes, sir.
Joe.
Samoa Joe. Yeah. Shout out to Samoa Joe.
He
let's
did, by
see,
the way,
High Ruler.
Go ahead.
What?
My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off, Taladia. Yeah, finish your statement.
I was gonna say also, I do know that AEW is gonna be promoting Suicide Squad.
Ooh, insider.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So.
Are they gonna have one of those like sponsored batch or matches for a belt or whatever, like they do like the TBS? Like, oh, are they actually?
They had a media scrum last night, and Samoa Joe literally stated that, "Oh, we're gonna be promoting the game."
Wow. I can't wait for AEW presents Suicide Squad match of the night for the Suicide Squad Task Force X belt, only on TBS.
Wow, that would actually be dope. I'll watch that.
Absolutely. I'm down. Man. I'm down. High Ruler, who you rocking with, man?
Yeah, probably Deadshot or Harley. I think Harley is kind of a sleeper pick, but from everything I've seen, she looks pretty cool. So yeah, I mean, Deadshot's an easy pick just based on everything we've seen. Like, I think there's a lot of cool stuff there. But Harley could be cool. So yeah, find me playing Harley in about a month.
Yes, 30 days.
Absolutely. So check it out, guys. Listen, we are actually nearing the end of the podcast, unfortunately, but we will be coming back next week. But I still want to get final thoughts, closing thoughts about the game. Whatever point of view you want to bring up, whatever you want to say, let's go with it. Doom Killer, what are your closing thoughts about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League?
Let's play the game when the game comes out. Like, stop prejudging. We all think, everybody on the panel thinks the game is going to be cool. There's some people maybe in the chat or on Twitter who don't think the game is going to be cool. Let's wait and see. Me personally, I'm hyped. I can't wait. I got my deluxe pre-ordered already, so I'm getting the early access. I'm getting my cool suits, the rogue suits and whatnot. So I'm excited about Suicide Squad, but I'm not about to push that down nobody's throat. I'm gonna let people decide if they like the game when the game comes out. That's my last thoughts on it. And Boomerang for the win.
Let's go. Casual, what are your closing thoughts, man, about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League?
I mean, I wanted a Justice League game, and that's not this, so I'm gonna hate this game until it, unfortunately shuts down. Hate
I respect that. I respect that.
I expected that from
You're right.
But no, for real, I'm excited to see what they can actually deliver on once the game goes live, and I'm super excited for all my friends that's looking forward to covering it. I'm
Absolutely,
right there
man.
with it, supporting it.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, the content creation that's gonna come from this game, I just can't wait to see what everybody does with the channel. I'm super, super excited. From build videos to everything else, secrets, speed runs, whole 9 yards. Hyrule, what are your closing thoughts about Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League?
Yeah, insider tip here. I hear Casual Avenger has a disc video coming out soon on his return to content creation, so I can't wait for that. But in all seriousness, man, I think I think there's a lot to be excited for. I've said this quite a few times, but after Marvel's Avengers closed down, we didn't really know, or when the death was kind of happening, we didn't really know what the next game was going to be to bring everyone together, right? Like, there's not going to be too many opportunities in the future to play like a superhero co-op game, even if that's live service or not, right? So whether you hate it, whether you love it, whether you enjoy it, I think you got to take into consideration that this is a very unique space this game operates in, and who knows how many more opportunities we'll get to play games like this, right? So if we do, it could be another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years, right? And who knows how many of us will still be in this space at that time to really enjoy these games together. So when it comes out, I'll just be happy to kind of sit down, play with my friends again, and have some fun. And until then, I'm just going to enjoy Twitter.
Absolutely, because that's entertainment by itself. I wholeheartedly agree with Hyrule chat that there is nothing out there like this right now. This game has definitely found its niche, and it's really the only opportunity we have to experience this type of game in this fashion. So yeah, there's that. To a lot of your plays, what is your closing thoughts about the game?
My closing thoughts about the game is that I can't wait to still continue to cover this game on my channel, and I'm looking forward to playing it when it's released. And I'm getting the deluxe edition. I'm just waiting for money to save up so I can get the rest of the money, because I already got half saved up. So I gotta save the other half, and then I can get the deluxe edition.
Yeah, work twice as hard so you can buy me a deluxe edition as well.
I knew that was coming, eh?
I can use the deluxe on my Xbox, so if you want to go ahead and sponsor that, Talib, I'm good with
I'll be down for that, bro. I'll be down for that.
Hey, check it out, chat. We cannot close this podcast without giving a shout out to Miller. Miller is in the building, chat. Listen, I just want to say thanks, Miller, man, because what you did this week with releasing your article, man, was just legendary. It cleared everything up. So, definitely kudos to Miller, man. If y'all don't know him, go follow that guy. He's a legend in his own right. Doom Killer, how can we find you on social media, man? Let us know how to connect.
Man, hit me up right here on YouTube, Doom Killer HD. If you want to hit me on Twitter and watch me clown people for being silly, you can do that too at Doom Killer HD. I rarely stream on Twitch, but you can find me there at Doomkiller HD _DSG. Weekly wrap up is returning, not this week, but next week. So look for all of these people again, just on my channel.
Yes, sir. Hey, weekly wrap up. I'm telling you, Chad, you do not want to miss it. It is an incredible podcast. And first, I think in fact, that's one of the first podcasts that I ever got an opportunity to be on. So again, shout out to Doom Killer HD. Casual, how can we find you on social media, man?
Casual Avenger across all socials. We starting the new year off active, so be on the lookout for new videos tomorrow, new streams, all of that good stuff.
Holy moly, what a world we live in. Casual Avenger making his return. I'm a lucky man.
Casual Avenger returning?
It's getting hot, Kaz. It's getting hot, sir.
Casual Avenger, wait, hold on, Casual. Can I ask you one question?
What's good?
Do you commit to making more videos than you do after show appearances every Friday night?
I commit to that.
Okay, all right.
So after show is all I've had at this point.
Hey, listen. It would not be High Ruler if we didn't have those type of comments. In fact, listen, I've been cheering for High Ruler for a minute. I mean, because he'll post some stuff, on social media, man, that has me rolling. High Ruler, how can we connect with you, man? How can we find you, bro?
Oh yeah, just go to my Twitter. Everything flows through my Twitter, which is High Ruler Live. Yeah, just go there. Everything else will spawn from there. So appreciate it.
Taladia Plays, how can we find you?
You can follow me on Twitter at TaladiaPlays_, and you can find me on YouTube at Taladia Plays, where I'm covering Suicide Squad, Killer Justice League, and I'm also covering comic books as well, where I'm talking about the New 52 DC Justice League comics. So we're going through that.
Oh, so you
definitely
all
go
into
support
that?
Taladia, bro.
Yeah.
He supports everybody.
Absolutely. He does. He does. Definitely go and support Taladia, all of these amazing content creators. Listen, that's our show for tonight. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we go live. More content becomes available. We're going to be right here, same time next week on this same channel. So make sure you keep it locked for episode 3 of State of Suicide Squad. Hopefully we get another drop because it's going to be the new year. So listen, we want to say happy New Year's to everybody. Appreciate you for hanging out with us, and we'll see you again on the next stream, everybody. Peace.